Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. If you're new here, I want to introduce myself. I am the founder and chief instructor of Help Me Pass LLC, and we specialize in teaching students how to get it done. Look, today we're going to do something a little different. Today we're going to do what's called a mentor chat. That means we're just going to talk a little bit about things that are still relevant to all students, no matter your age, grade, or college classification. And I want to talk about this subject because it's very important. It's not often addressed, but students need to know how to deal with it. And that is, are you fitting in or standing out, dealing with peer pressure? Okay, so again, this is a mentor chat, so I just want you to relax. We're not going to learn anything that is academic related per se, but still very much so student related. So are you fitting in or standing out, dealing with peer pressure? Now, the reason why this subject is on my mind is because, one, it is relevant and significant. Today, 2025, I witnessed a lot of the youth and students who they don't know how to say no. They don't know how to embrace who they naturally are. And this is one thing that I personally, as an individual, I take pride in. I take pride in being who I am. And I want to encourage you to do the same. So let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, most students who deal with this are in high school, but students who are in college deal with peer pressure as well. And let's start very basic. What is peer pressure? Now, this is not out of a dictionary. This is my definition based on my life experiences, okay? Peer pressure is exactly how it sounds. It's when you feel pressure by your peers to either do or be something that you are truly not, okay? When you feel pressured by your peers to do or be something you are truly not, right? And peer, the key word, peer, meaning people that you are either have similar age groups, or you all are the same age group, excuse me. Or a peer can be someone that you work closely with, right? A classmate, which in most cases you all are around the same age, right? So typically when we work in close environments with people, whether it is in school or on the job, you deal with a lot of different personalities, right? You deal with people who can be combative, have strong personalities, and then there's the polar opposite. Some people are very quiet, very timid, very shy. Regardless, everyone has a different personality. And sometimes, especially when you're young, when you're in high school, you might feel pressure to fold, as we say back in the day, or submit or give in to another person's desires for you, right? And why is that? Because a lot of times we don't want to be ridiculed, especially if you're young. Let's be honest. Especially if you're young, you don't want to be ridiculed for being someone who is completely different from everyone else. But what I would say to you, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, because we're going to get into some really great content today. But I want to first talk about, why do you feel uncomfortable standing out and being different from everyone else? Is it because you don't want to be alone? You don't want friends to cast you out or outcast you? Or is it because maybe you don't have a mind of your own? And I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to encourage you, to empower you, to have a mind of your own. What do you mean by a mind of your own? It is okay to stand out. I want you to know it's okay to be that student who doesn't do everything that everyone else does. It's actually an honor and a pleasure. You know, those people who are really successful in life, typically, they don't go with the crowd. Think about the greats of the world, like Steve Jobs, who was the founder of Apple. the founder and the inventor of Apple. He was a very unique individual. If you don't know Steve Jobs, I highly encourage you to do some research on him. But that's just one person. But I want to get back to the subject. Why? Why do you feel the need to cave in? And then I want to go deeper with that because, again, this is a mentor chat, right? So I'm here to mentor you to help you get past these obstacles. Because in life, as you begin to grow and move and travel, you'll meet many people who want you to cave in or submit to their desires, even if they don't benefit you, even if they hurt or harm you. And you have to be courageous. Say it with me, courageous. You have to be courageous enough to say, I'm not doing that. Because your future is the one that's on the line, not theirs. Your future is the one that's on the line when you give into the things that they want you to do. Okay? So I really want to get into some tips, okay? I want to get into some tips on how you can combat peer pressure, okay? But before I do that, I want to say one more thing because this is really on my heart to say. I asked the question, are you fitting in or standing out? And I talked about how people who are typically very successful, they stand out or they stood out before they became successful. But I also want to talk about how people who tend to fit in or attempt to fit in, I want to be transparent with you. A lot of times that is a result of low self-esteem. And if you're dealing with low self-esteem, can I just tell you, can I just be honest? That God made us all fearfully and wonderfully made. Which means what, right? Because that sounds very spiritual, and it is. But what does it really mean? It means that you were made perfectly when God made you. So there's no need, no reason to be insecure. You may feel like there's something wrong with you, whether it be physically, mentally, or emotionally. And can I just be honest, we all deal with that from time to time. But it's up to us as human beings to do the work to overcome that, because a lot of the things, please catch this, a lot of the things that you are insecure about are actually strengths. Specifically if they are related to intangible, non-physical characteristics. I'll give you an example. Prime example of myself. I talk a lot. That's why I'm an educator. But guess what? Can I be honest? For a long time, I was insecure about it. I thought, girl, you talk so much. Stop talking so much. And I realized that that was my strength. And now I use my big mouth to educate the world. Okay? Now that is a non-physical example, but let's say something physical about you that you're insecure about. Maybe you feel like you have, I don't know, really skinny arms. Right? But I would bet that those skinny arms, that they match your body type, right? Why would God give you skinny legs and huge arms? He wouldn't do that. Now, we all have things about ourselves physically that we want to improve. If I can be fully transparent, I'm on a weight loss journey. So if you ever see me on another video and I look significantly smaller, that's why, right? Because I want to be healthier and I want to improve and I want to look better. But why am I bringing this up? Because we're talking about insecurity, right? And that is one of the reasons why many students try to fit in. You can want to change something about yourself without being insecure and without trying to fit in because of that insecurity. You can acknowledge whatever that insecurity is and say, hey, I don't like this, but I want to, and I'm going to change it. You see? But fitting in, trying to fit in, trying to be accepted, desperately trying to be accepted, it's not the answer. I can guarantee you that. And more pain, more disappointment is actually going to come from you trying to fit in than if you were rejected for standing out. Did you catch that? More pain is going to come from you trying to fit in than it would from you being outcasted by standing out and being who you truly are, being a leader. Oh, there's a word. Leader. How about that? You don't see many students today in 2025 proud to be leaders. Everyone wants to be accepted, and I don't understand it. It's like to try to be accepted. I want to be clear. To desperately try to be accepted, it's one of those things that it just sets you up for disappointment. Because, can I be honest? Are you ready for this? Most people are not going to accept you when you're very young, when you're in high school, because everyone is learning and growing and changing. And they're still trying to figure out who they are. So what are you saying, Veronica? I'm saying it's no use in trying so hard to be accepted by your peers. Now, am I saying that you should try to be a nuisance and be difficult and make people hate you? Absolutely not. But once you observe that someone doesn't like you or they're not accepting you, it's up to you to move and get from around those people and surround yourself with people who genuinely love being around you, who naturally accept you. That is where your power lies. Your power lies in embracing those who are for you. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. So let's get into a couple of tips, right? To help you overcome peer pressure or combat peer pressure, okay? Number one, are you ready for this? Learn to say no. 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 You see how simple I said that? It's not a debate. It's not an argument. It's not a negotiation. I said no. No, I'm not skipping class to go with you to, I don't know, Chick-fil-A. No, I can't go out tonight. No, I'm not riding with you. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not a long explanation. It's one word, no. And I actually added a couple of words, but you can actually just say no. Will you get some pushback? Of course, that's what people do. As human beings, we always give pushback when we don't get our way, right? But it's not your responsibility to worry about what they think of you saying no. It's not your problem. Will they stop being your friend? Maybe. Will they be mad? Maybe. Is that your issue? No. I am telling you, I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on. The people that are for you will respect your wishes. Please get that. Please get that. The people that are for you will respect your wishes. Please understand, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, number two, we're talking about how to combat or overcome peer pressure. So the first one was learn to say no. The second one, learn to be okay with being disliked. I get it. Especially if you're in high school or college, this can be very hard because we are literally designed or even programmed, I would say, to want to be accepted by our peers. But again, and this really ties in with number one, but I'm being more specific by saying learn to be okay with being disliked, because this is an entire assignment, if you will, or an entire thing in and of itself. To actually practice being okay with being disliked, it takes time. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's so easy. but it definitely requires practice. And can I be even more transparent? Sometimes it might make you cry. You might feel alone. But you have to understand in that moment when you're hurting that you're making a great decision for yourself, and you're honoring yourself. Okay? And this one falls into number 3, or it rolls into number 3. Practice self-love. The more you practice self-love, the more that desire you have to please your peers or fit in with your peers, it'll just fall off, because you're loving on yourself so much. You're like, oh, if someone else doesn't love me, okay, I don't care. And what are some ways to practice self-love, right? Because a lot of times when we think of self-love, we immediately think of just self-care, getting our nails done, taking a bubble bath, I don't know, if you're a guy, maybe, shaving your beard, or I don't know, giving yourself a facial. I don't know what guys do for self-care, but self-care is one aspect of self-love, but there are so many other things you can do to love on yourself, right? You can go do something fun that you've been wanting to do. Like, let me think. Maybe you've been wanting to go play basketball at this new gym, right? And you've been putting it off and putting it off. A way to love on yourself, you might take yourself to that new gym and go play basketball, right? Or you may just relax on the couch for a day, Or you may speak positive affirmations. If you're a girl, you might go get your nails done, or get your feet done, get a pedicure. There's so many, and again, that is a form of self-care, but there's so many things you can do to love on yourself, and I don't want to go down this whole list, but I want to encourage you to practice, which literally means you need to be doing this consistently, daily. Practice loving on yourself, whether it be physically, mentally, or emotionally. And that desire to please others, it will gradually just fade away, because you're so focused on loving yourself, right? The last thing I would do to combat peer pressure. Are you ready for this? This is the easiest one, but it can also be the hardest one. This is what I recommend, and this really works. To combat peer pressure, you need to be brutally honest with those around you. A lot of times the reason why students and individuals as a whole are giving into peer pressure, because they're not being honest with people. They're trying to be something they're not, or do something that they truly don't desire to do. And because they don't have the courage to be honest, they give in. And so I'm saying peer pressure because, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, peer can be anyone that you are consistently working with, who is in your environment, or it can quite literally be someone who is your same age or in your same demographic or age bracket, right? So if you're in your 20s, someone in your 20s would be your peer. But I'm saying that to say that even older people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they still have peers, because they still have people in their demographic, and they still deal with peer pressure. So this is not just a young people thing. I want to point that out. And I had to go back and explain that to say that even if you're older, you need to learn to be honest with people. Not because of integrity, because some people don't lie because they don't have integrity. Some people lie because they don't want to deal with peer pressure. And so I mentioned the word courage. Courage means fearless. You're fearless if someone doesn't like you. You're fearless if someone gets upset. You're fearless about losing someone, because you know that everything that is for you will be for you, including friendships, including family members, taking it a step further, including opportunities, because let's be honest, sometimes we give into peer pressure because we don't want to lose a good opportunity. But if you have to do something that you genuinely and truly do not want to do to have an opportunity, is that opportunity for you? Or is it a trap to set you up for people pleasing. Oh, I think I just went into another topic. People pleasing. I'm going to save that for another video. But it really truly does relate to giving into peer pressure. You want to please people. So I know I've said quite a lot. And look, this is one of those videos you might want to go back and watch again. Maybe listen to it while you're working out, or maybe while you're in the bathtub or in the shower, you know? And I say that because some things you need to meditate on. And this is one of those messages that you need to meditate on. Again, I'm here to help you academically, but I'm also here to be your virtual mentor. I want to continue to help students, not just academically, but interpersonally. And so I want to conclude this video by saying this. If you are a student and you would like a mentor, or you know that you need a mentor, I want you to click the link in the description and book a one-on-one mentorship session. Look, I don't share this often because I'm an educator, but I'm also a certified life coach, and I love to mentor the youth. And I know a lot of youth don't like mentors. Well, not all of them, but some of them don't. But can I tell you, it's gonna help you level up. Look, it doesn't matter how successful you are if you don't have the interpersonal skills and the character to go along with it. You will eventually run into a wall. And I'm not being pessimistic, that's just honest. Look, I went through mentorship and it really helps me elevate. It truly did. So I want you to know that you have options. Parents, if you're watching this, your student has options. Click the link in the description. Book a mentorship session and let's chat. Look, it'll be very informal. I'm here to help you. Look, I appreciate you watching this video. I want you to like, share with a friend, share with a family member. If you haven't subscribed already to this channel, subscribe. Because I'm telling you, we're just getting started on this channel. I have so much more great content to come. And I look forward to sharing it with you. All right? Thank you for watching. I wish you the very best. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.